All right. Welcome everybody to another episode of Game Set Live. This is your host KY Bob. I'm joined by my uh the normal panelist Fabio and Powerman 4K, and this week we're welcoming a new panelist. His name is Ultimus, and we're going to learn everything we can about him. What you see on screen right now is
I just love the silence. Like there we go. Pause for effects. Always.
that's right. Pause for
Yeah,
effect, baby. So what you see on screen is a game called The Chant. It came out here very recently, and I've been playing it, and it reminds me a lot of Alan Wake, and that's my kind of game. So I thought I would record a bunch of footage, and you know let everybody else see it because it's one of those games where you're not really sure whether or not you want to fork out the $40 for it because it's not on Game Pass. We know how we love things on Game Pass these days.
it's the
But
only right
anyway,
way to play games.
yeah, it's definitely a money saver. Well, before we get into our topics, how is everybody doing? Ultimus, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Glad to be on my first show with you guys. Glad to be back doing a podcast after about a year. Really glad to be here.
Awesome, Fabio. Um,
No,
how are
no.
things going in Brazil?
Mm, mm. Okay, I was about. I was sure that you were going to ask how much is milk here again. Like,
I'm sure I was going to also,
I
but then I stopped myself.
thank you, thank you. That's called respect. Well, things are doing great. Hot as hell here. I've been working non-stop. Well, final college paper. What can I do? But yeah, other than that, glad to be here. Ultimus, welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Your mic sounding a little sketchy there, Fabio. Are you on your normal setup?
Why? Oh, okay. Wait a second. I think it's all
Oh,
good,
I was hearing
actually.
pop, pop, crack, crackle, smack, smack.
Yeah, I'm hearing just a little crackle.
So sorry about that. I don't know what's the issue.
Oh, you're good. You're good. I'm sure you sound 10 times better than my country ass.
Jesus
Power
Christ.
Man 4K. How have you been, and have you got to play anything?
Yeah, I'm good. I have gotten to play more Modern Warfare 2. That's pretty much my main focus right now has been Modern Warfare 2 and then Warzone 2 that's coming out in like 6 days. So I'm just grinding to unlock guns, for that. And then I have been playing what something on PC, but I forgot. I've been playing some stuff on PC too. So um, yeah, that's it. Really, not too much. Not too much this week. I've been kind of busy. Got a lot of life stuff going on. So
Dipping into that master race gameplay, huh?
a little bit. I mean, like I say, I always felt like master race is a strong term. You know what I mean? It's more like master options. Like it's got the most options, but at least for me, dude, like I don't know. There's still like a good appeal for just like clicking something on a big screen TV and it just works. Um, but it's good to have both options. It's nice to have both.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. I don't see Thember in the chat. I'm kind of let down. Thember, where are you at? I said, all right, all right, all right. Hey,
Wait. Fever is officially a letdown. Okay.
I know, right?
Thimber's not in the
Somebody
chat. We need
send
to
out.
we need to contact the FBI
Yeah,
because
guys,
he
again.
may have been abducted.
No. Fever is from Brazil. He probably thought that the show was going to be an hour earlier, as I was thinking before, and then he saw and it's not here, so it won't be happening.
Thimber, did you run over a hijacker and now you're in Brazilian prison for being a vigilante?
For fuck's sake, I'll try to. There we go. Here he is. There we go. Happy?
Test, Mr. Thember.
You happy?
I'm starting to get worried, man. We're going to send out search and rescue for your ass.
Yeah.
What?
right.
Were we?
Rio de Janeiro.
Wait a second. Were we going to send someone to rescue him?
Search and
Yeah, 'cause we were worried about our friend.
Oh,
Fabio,
okay, fair
Yeah,
enough.
me and
We were
KY Bob, we're gonna
concerned.
go down there and search everywhere for him.
I don't know. I don't know. Like, you guys don't seem to be worried with me at all. But like with Fimber, oh my god, Fimber's not here. So, oh, it's the end of the world. But with Fabio, who cares if Fabio's not here? Like, fuck it.
Take that information how you want, Fabio. You know. Just-
Thanks.
Oh, you
We had a
interpret.
little issue with the chat.
I love the respect.
It is. It's a good podcast. We're having fun.
Yes.
All right. So, first topic. Everybody's seen the thumbnail. And yes, Microsoft has partnered with Netflix to make a Gears of War live action feature film. And we also know somebody else who has been doing a lot of work with Netflix, and that is Dave Bautista. And we know he's a big Gears fan, and he's been lobbying to be Marcus for years. And nobody would pick up the idea of a movie. So now I've seen, and no, Power Man Pratt cannot be Marcus. No way.
I'm just saying. I mean, he's
No.
spitting image, bro. You know. I mean,
No, he's not.
if anybody can pull it
A
off,
little
it's
makeup,
the
maybe.
It's the Pratt man. You know, like
Chris
he's a
Pratt.
man of many talents.
Chris Pratt. Yeah, he's Mario. So yeah, he can do that. And like, he's going to make a voice that you never thought before for Marcus Phoenix. This is actually his normal voice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Oh,
gonna be
man.
Chris Pratt's normal voice.
Yes,
Chris
exactly.
Pratt
Like,
being Chris Pratt.
it's just
You get a movie set in World War II, and it would just be Chris Pratt's voice. It wouldn't even be an accent.
like at least give us the Lego movie
I'd be all right with that.
in Gears of War. Yes, I'm so pumped up.
Yes.
Well,
So-
I'll say this, guys. They got nowhere to go but up, right? with the TVs
Well,
and movie stuff, you know.
Well,
Um,
let's be honest. Like, it can be worse than Halo.
That's
when it
exactly
comes
what I'm
to
talking
this-
about.
It depends.
No,
It depends.
no.
If by the 6th episode Marcus gets some ass, it's officially worse.
Yeah, he's gonna bang a human version of the
No.
Swarm.
Yes,
that's been
exactly.
hiding
Oh my god, he's gonna bang the
underground
queen.
for 6 or
He's go-
7 years.
He's going to bang the queen. Jesus fucking Christ.
The fact that the Halo TV show is making this joke just shows.
I remember.
Oh man, Halo
I remember-
Halo is the defining point of this podcast. Like,
I remember, I remember the ending of Gears 3 being way different than what I'm thinking here. Jesus Christ. And then they have a son
Hey, but
and
we-
these cats. Kate. Yeah, there
Oh,
we go. There we go. That's the plot. And then Gears 5 starts.
Yeah. Well, Thember has a lot of, and you know, I've seen some people get on my tweet about, they did a good job with The Witcher, and Netflix did a good job with Resident Evil. No, it wasn't the Resident Evil everybody expected. It was more of an after event.
I
But
never
I
even
thought it
bothered
was well
watching that.
done.
Was it good? I mean,
I thought it was well done.
It was well
Okay.
done, but some of the story, there were some problems story wise that I was just like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
We can go into that, but some story elements that made no.
Yeah, I definitely. I mean, just from the. I mean, I just briefly looked at the. You know, I checked out the trailer and looked around at some people that were talking about it, and they kind of said the same thing. It was like, you know, it was kind of like an offshoot. Like, it wasn't exactly Resident Evil, but obviously it was. You know, and I don't know. I mean, it seemed like it looked okay visually, right? Like it didn't look like B movie sci-fi channel. You know what I mean? So that was always a good.
One thing I'll give Netflix credit for is that they always like camera work and everything is always superior. They do a great job with that with almost all their shows from sitcoms to movies. So yes, visually it was great.
Yeah. No, and when Netflix is on point, man, they could do good work. I mean, I'm not gonna say that. I'm just saying that I don't know. I feel like, I know that I love Batista's energy. Yeah, the same way that I kind of liked, The Rock with Black Adam, right? Like he's not exactly Black Adam, but he's passionate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're
So,
passionate,
like,
energetic, and they like the character. And
yeah,
that's what helps.
and for me, it's like if Batista wants to be Marcus this bad, I mean, he already has the physique for it, right? And I'm sure that they can do some, they can work some magic to make him more Marcusy, like
Marcus
Grow a fucking
making
beard.
up words on Game
I-
Set Live. Yes, we are.
I have less of an
Grow-
issue with
grow a beard.
Batista
That could
and
work.
like who they're gonna choose for supporting cast. You know what I mean? I feel like that's gonna be important. Like who's gonna be Cole, who's gonna be Baird,
That's been a
who's gonna
massive
be
debate right
Dom.
now.
You know what I mean?
no.
Like
Like I gotta say, if Cole the Train is not Terry fucking Crews, I give up on. I just give up.
no, man,
I
Terry Crews is way too old to be Coltrane, bro. I mean,
Yeah,
like
he has the
early
energy.
years.
He
Far
has the
past.
he has the energy. He has the exact
Yeah,
same
but like,
energy.
but
That's
Cole
the
was
thing.
like young, dude, in like the original Gears of War.
Ah,
He was like just out of like football,
mm,
football,
yeah,
right? He
okay,
was just out of pro football or emergence day. He was like, a younger kid.
okay. Which pro NFL player is available to be Cole the
Oh
Train?
man, I don't know, dude. Like that's what I'm saying. Like those choices to me. Although listen,
Lamar Jackson is officially called the Train.
that'd be hilarious. That would be hilarious.
He can
Now,
run.
you
He's
know-
not big enough, bro. You know what I mean? He's not even big enough. You gotta have a.
Offensive
Coltrane
line-
is a big
a
dude, bro.
offense- give
No,
a
Thimber.
offensive
Cole
lineman.
is the ex-football player. He's a big black guy.
I mean, like, you talking about physique? I'm thinking like James Harrison from the Steelers. I'm thinking like, you know what I'm saying, or like Warren Sapp. Like that level of physique, bro. Just a huge
Okay,
dude.
Okay, I know the answer. Christian Dershaw from the Minnesota Vikings. Check it out.
Okay.
Uh,
But and he's got to be able to act too, man. That's the thing. Like the thing about Gears is Gears tells some good stories, and
I just
and they're usually kind of deep. And the thing is like
Come on.
this show needs to be, first off, it needs to be R rated, like minimum. It needs
Come
to
on.
be no fluffy stuff. I don't want any PG-13. I want
This
chainsaw.
has to go gore gear style.
Yeah.
They can't
I
try to
just
make
wanna-
it more for everybody. It's not for everybody.
I just
Right.
want to point out the thing that is like, you want a guy that can act or a guy that looks like the fucking Coltrane? Like,
Well,
God damn it! You
yeah,
can
but
I'll
have
take
that.
a little bit of both.
Yeah, a happy medium would be nice. Even like just a halfway decent. It doesn't have to be like
okay,
Oscar, award winning.
I got
Okay,
one for you.
LeBron James. That's it.
I got one for you. So the picture Debo from Friday as Coltrane.
Oh my
What?
god!
What? Sorry? What? What?
Give me that chain. My mama gave me that chain.
Chris Pratt could be Baird. That'd be a happy compromise.
No.
Like Chris Pratt is Baird.
No.
No.
I saw somebody on Twitter that said The Rock should be Dom, and I'm thinking,
Oh
The
my
Rock
God,
The
stop.
Rock's not Latino.
No, bro.
The Rock,
Yes.
many other characters, but Dom, not really.
No. He doesn't have the same attitude. He doesn't have the same demeanor. And maybe you can an argument could be made. You can act that kind of stuff in, but I don't know.
Yeah, you gotta have like the same type of personality, and he just doesn't seem like he would be able to do that.
It's the same issue that I had with Halo, bro. It's like that dude to me just wasn't Master Chief, bro. I couldn't bring myself to like.
No, he's
He would have
Master
been
Chief.
Master-
He's not Master Chief.
He would have been
yeah.
Master Chief if he had just
Master
kept
Chief.
his helmet on, but he was he was an actor that had to get his face out there, and
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, I mean, but like, it's like, dude, like, here's the thing. It's like, and this is always the problem I have, and we can go sweet. This is a sidebar, okay? But like characters like the Incredible Hulk, for instance, right? When Edward Norton didn't want to play the Hulk anymore, dude. Listen, nobody cares about Banner, bro. We want to see the Hulk. You exist to just get angry at some point in the movie and turn into the Hulk. That's your job. Just do your job. And with Master Chief, we needed a big dude to be in a suit. And honestly, I think that they could have just said, "Don't even say anything, and we'll voice you over." And he can move his head like a fucking Power Ranger.
I wanted
Darth
that.
Vader. Darth Vader. That's the exact same case as Darth Vader.
Yes, dude.
And it worked beautifully. Like
It did. It did.
God damn it. Why
Worst
did
thing they ever
no
did.
one
Worst thing they
else
ever
could do
did was
Vader.
taking the helmet off Vader and showing us Hayden Christensen.
like it's so iconic, Darth Vader, to the point where even the original guy who wore the helmet and the entire uniform and had to act during the sessions until they did the voiceover for the character's voice in the movie. Like, this guy is known because he played Darth Vader, and we have no idea how he looks like.
Yeah.
Now they did say they did announce that there's going to be already in the works an adult themed animated series. Now, why they would mention the animated series is going to be like, I'm guessing when they say adult themed, the blood and the gore and the violence and everything, but they didn't mention that for the movie. And they also said that there's going to be the possibility for more stories in the future, which leads me to believe, where do they plan on picking up in the Gears of War saga for this movie? Are they going to try and cram all 5 games, the whole saga into a 2-hour movie?
If they're smart, dude, if they're smart, they start on Emergence Day, or rather, they start like I said at the beginning, where they're ripping Marcus out of jail, right? That's where, and then you imagine Batista sitting there, he's all grim in the corner, he's angry, right? He's Marcus, and they're like, "Come on, we got shit to kill," and then that's what kicks it off. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like right there where he comes out of jail. You know what I mean?
You got to introduce people who haven't seen Gears. Sorry, I cut you off.
Well,
but then that leaves it open. It's just like a new world in Star Wars, right? Then you leave it open to tell the stories later in the series, like going back and explaining how they got there or where they're at, kind of thing. Because there's really going to be no perfect spot to start, right? Like you can't just say like, oh, or you just tell like a quick origin thing, like these are the swarm or the,
you got to make people want to fear them.
Yeah. Like not even the,
or it'd be the locust. It'd be the locust, right?
Like not even the games themselves. They managed to present the universe and the situation as clear as day. Like you get the feeling and you understand as you are playing. So I don't think that at the beginning of the series you need to already know everything that's going on. Like I think that instead of doing something crazy where you don't understand shit like the Witcher series, because that's the feeling that I had when I was watching the first season. Like even though I played the game, there were so much stuff that I had no idea what was going on. Like in Gears of War, I think that you could make like a gradual balance where you would, with each episode, just introduce something and actually explain to us as we were playing the Gears of War saga. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's. I mean, it's
gonna be divisive, Bob. It's gonna be real divisive.
It is, because when you try and cater to a fan base and make them happy, you alienate the ones who don't know anything about the series. Because in order to cater to the fan base, you have to, you got to work the angle in there that the people watching already kind of know what's going on. But for somebody but to reach the larger audience, you're going to have to hold their hand and guide them and, teach them this world that they're in. So
with Halo kind of crammed it down your throat a little bit, to be honest. And they also kind of they avoided things from Halo 2. So you got to have a good balance there. They really didn't. They kind of said to the fans, "We don't care," and moved on.
Exactly.
And did what they did. Mm-hmm. And you got to have that. You got to have that mixture. It could be some things from the original games that makes sense, but then you got to change it up a little bit. So that way the hardcore fans are like on their edge of their seats too, but they kind of know, as you said, as they already kind of know what's going on. They got to have that balance. the Halo
Yep.
series really didn't, and really did was Master Chief, take off your helmet, walk outside, do something badass for 5 minutes, and the rest of the show we look at your ass. Just gonna say that, but
Yeah.
you got to do something not like that. You got to,
Well,
I
there
mean,
were like entire episodes where like it just didn't. It felt nothing like Halo, and then
there were like
there were
two.
like two or three episodes where you're like, wow, this is Halo. You know,
Yeah,
like this
I
feels
don't know
like Halo.
why they avoided the combat aspect because the whole point of Halo was like a hardcore combat, and
Yeah.
how Chief is described in the books is he is a badass, and if they did a lot of that and didn't focus always on the base or always somewhere else, I think the man didn't shoot his gun, shot his gun less than you do in one mission of actual Halo. I
Yeah.
mean,
I mean,
in the whole
Chief was
in the
always
whole show.
described as like the perfect soldier, right? He was always in a state of like war mindset. So like just the idea of him taking off his helmet doesn't make any sense strategically, anyways, right? Like if you're
Yeah, it
if you're
doesn't.
if you're always on, right? Like that's what they talk about in the military, being always on, right? You're always ready. Chief wouldn't be just walking around with a helmet. You're a walking. Think about like with like Reach, dude, and think about what happened. About walking up and getting sniped. You know what I mean? And like, the Spartans are not invincible. You know what I mean? Like they're crazy strong, but if they get shot in the head, they die. You know what I mean? So
It reminds
it
me
just
of
doesn't
what
make any sense.
Lasky said in Halo 4. Spartans are they're still soldiers are still human.
Right.
They still
Exactly.
like that, and I think that's what they did wrong with the series is not have a human aspect, but they kind of just made it. They're all emotional and there's all this in the games and in general. They were pretty blocked off. They were just soldiers.
Yeah. I mean,
And in this, it's just all the emotion.
but,
And I
but
get it;
like,
they took the chips out, but still.
but that's the thing that's what I liked so much in terms of like Halo 4. Yeah, people were saying that the relationship between Cortana and Master Chief was really rushed. I don't think so because I think it's
No, it
quite
wasn't.
interesting that like
no.
I think it's quite interesting the fact that throughout the entire Master Chief saga, we we are always thinking to ourselves, is this guy human? Is he a machine? What the hell is going on? Like when you
Yeah.
play through Halo 1, 2, 3, and 4, that's what you think. And then in Halo 4, you start to think, okay, there's a guy behind the mask. In Halo 5, you are, yeah, okay, like you don't have much material because the story is quite shit. But yeah, sorry about that.
I
And
think
in
Halo
Halo,
4. Go ahead.
but in Halo Infinite, you discover that's a human. He failed on his mission. He has regrets, but he still keeps on fighting.
I
Like
think. Go ahead.
I think it's just amazing in this aspect, and they shouldn't have left that. They should have changed this focus in the character actually.
What Halo 4 did right, I think, is because you had 3 games to connect with Chief and build it up, and then it
Mhm.
made sense because then Chief is faced with the hard Cortana's dying, and he
Yes,
knows it. And I think that kind of breaks through the shell a little bit, and that's why it made sense. Everyone can say it was forced. He already had a care, but he always knew that she was going to be there. That she's
exactly.
an AI. She can just transfer to a different ship and move on, something like that. And she was really dying, and that's going to bring it out. And then he's on an unknown planet in the middle of nowhere with the Covenant shooting at him again, and he's confused. It makes sense.
Yeah,
I mean,
and the big thing about like Cortana was always John's that was his link to humanity, right? Like that's how he
exact,
found his humanity. I don't think
exact.
that we're gonna have to worry about that in the Gears franchise because the Gears franchise is more
There's
these guys are just regular guys. Yes, they're strong, they're big, they have
there's a
good
lot of
weapons, but
emotion there,
there's a lot of it, man. There's a lot of things that happen in the Gears franchise. Um
man.
and we all
Gears
know that this
Gears
has the
2, Gears
yeah.
3 is just so amazing in
Yeah.
so many levels. God damn it.
So many moments where you're like it hits you and you're just like,
Hard.
wow, that was a moment that
Yes.
you can't take back. You know what I mean? Like that just happened,
Exactly.
you know?
One thing I gotta say real quick, I just gotta react. I hate to stop you, Thimber. If you haven't played Halo 4 by now, I'm sorry. It's gonna
Ah,
get. There's more
ser-
spoilers on Twitter
Fim-
than there is here.
seriously, Fimber, you haven't played Halo 4?
I know
No.
he's
Come on.
teasing. I know he's just joking. But
No.
the game has been out for a long time. I'm pretty sure everyone who cares already knows.
Like and like I think it's quite.
I had no
I think,
idea, sir. So thanks.
yeah, but like it came out actually 2 days ago. Didn't you know?
Oh, 2 days ago? Did I teleport last night?
Yes, yes,
Uh,
yes, yes, yes. Like is it what 2010? Yes, there we go.
Hey, I liked Halo 4. Halo
I did
5
too.
is where it was like,
I loved Halo 4 actually.
Hey,
Like
see, Halo 4 story was so good.
Yeah.
yes, that's the funny part of it. Halo 4, great story, shit multiplayer. Halo 5, shit story, great multiplayer.
That multiplayer was so fun. I mean, I loved grinding it.
Yeah,
But
Halo
story,
5's
I
multiplayer
don't
was
think the
awesome.
story was. I don't think the story was that bad with Halo 5, but I could really tell that it
I
was
mean,
not what I was expecting.
I
Too much
mean,
The whole
Prometheans,
direction was
bro.
just
Too
not.
much Promethean. Way
I
too
mean,
much
like,
Don't get me
Promethean.
started.
with that
no,
being said, we started this whole
uh,
conversation on a Gears movie, and now we're talking about the Halo
no,
franchise.
no.
Well,
This
hey,
is
Here's,
this is
hey,
a Halo podcast, sir. I don't know if you
no,
understand. It's
this is
game
now a
set Halo.
Halo. We've taken over.
Let's
let me
look
just,
at. Yes, we know what that we saw what got done with what Paramount did with Halo, but
yes.
with
We don't care.
Gears coming to Netflix, let's
We don't care
focus
about
on the
yours.
Netflix properties. Like Thimber was saying that in the chat, he said the thing about movies is that you got to pitch it for everyone, not just the fans. That way it gets more views. And I think Netflix did such a good job with The Witcher because we already knew who The Witcher was, but the world didn't know. And the way they introduced it, they kept it true to the canon and it didn't relate to the games at all. And it was amazing. And they can do that with Gears.
I
But
think they can.
they have to lay the groundwork though. They have to say, okay, this is where you are. This is Sarah. And on Sarah, this is a different planet, and but then you're going to have people wanting to know, which I always wanted to know, how did we get on this planet? And they never touched on it, and the story was so good that I didn't harp on it, so I just gave up wondering. So yeah, but anyway, I'm rambling. Everybody like, share, subscribe, tell a buddy or two. Everybody we got in the chat, Palpatine, Riskit for the Biscuit, Graphic God, stop by. Ooh, Graphic God. Great
Graphic
to see you here,
God.
buddy. The
Thanks for
Graphic
dropping by.
God. And of course, Thember, the #1 fan.
Like, and of course,
Man with the plan.
Long live Thember.
pause for effect.
So
Always.
if you're a regular here in our chat and you join our Discord, there is a tag in the Discord called Bench Squad Player, and those people who have the Bench Squad Player have the option to jump in to a podcast. They just have to reach out a few days in advance, and if we've got an opening, we'll throw you on here, and you can
Nice,
introduce
nice.
yourself
Wait,
to the world.
wait. When
Let
were
your
you going
voice be
to tell
heard,
us?
people.
I'm sorry. When were you going to tell us that? I didn't agree with this.
That
What
was-
is
I
this
wasn't
shit?
at the meeting.
You
We've
should-
already got 2 Bench Squad players in the Discord right now.
What?
Yes,
What is this
Jedi
shit?
Knight Peter and Thember.
Well, Fabio was living under a rock.
No, I'm living.
Fabio.
No, I'm living under Brazil. That's the thing.
I'm teasing.
Oh, I wonder if you dig straight down from Brazil where you go.
I go to the south, and then I go to Argentina, and then I don't know the
Thember
Earth
wants to know
ends.
where the contracts are.
Well,
The-
first
the-
you hit the center of the sun.
They're in
Good
the
luck
mail.
there. Or the center of the earth, my bad.
No, the Earth is flat, right? So it ends in Argentina. So that's the bottom extreme.
Oh boy. Okay.
Oh
So,
boy!
What's the next topic here?
Next topic.
Yeah, moving.
Thank you.
It took
Thank
them a year, but Halo is back, baby. I played the winter update with J Rock, Bushido, Jedi Knight Peter, a bunch of great people. A couple of days ago,
And you didn't invite us. Thanks.
Oh, that just
There
shows
we
how much
go
he loves
again.
us.
I do kind of
There
feel
we
like
go again.
I do feel like we always are kind of in the same parties because I'd be in the same parties with these same dudes, but like never at the same time. So like Bob is like there, and then we're just like kind of swap in, like we're just gonna swap in the game set live panel members one at a time throughout the day.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
You just see me and
I
Fabio on the side, just us alone, just hanging out.
Yeah,
just
we're
together.
just sad. We're sad, lonely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Umbra and Bushido were in there, and of course, neither one of them talked at the same time. So
No.
I'm still speculating they're the same person. But anyway,
Oh, yes.
the experience and everything that we got for matches. You even every match I played, I got 50 points towards MVP, and I was far from the MVP in every match. But the people that did get MVP got hundreds of points. I mean, it was great. There's already so many maps out there being thrown in by people on Forge. Last night I played co-op campaign with my wife on her Series X in the other room. And yeah, Halo it's here and it's great. I can't wait to play co-op with more than just me and her because I want to see how. And of course, the funny part is we started playing and I was getting killed, and I was like, "Oh, this only happens in multiplayer. What the hell is going on?" And of course, we're playing her game. And I was like, "Dear, what difficulty did you set it on?" And she goes, "There's only one difficulty to play co-op Halo on."
Yes.
She put
Yes.
it on legendary, and I'm like,
Go for it.
"Oh,
Bob. Bob. She's right. She's right. That's
yeah,
how you play Halo
I
co-op.
know. They're always right." You heard me say it. That's right. Clip it and
Yes.
put it on
Yes.
Twitter. The
Mm-hmm.
missus is always right. Happy wife, happy life, right?
Exactly. But
At least
like,
it wasn't Halo 2 Legendary. Sorry.
I'm playing Halo 2 Legendary with a friend of mine. It's been fun.
So,
So stressful.
Fabio, this one is directed towards you because I mean, in your eyes, Halo can do no wrong. And now they're well on their way to doing everything right.
No,
What
no,
do you
wait a
think?
second.
Have you
Wait,
gotten to experience the winter update?
I'm sorry. When did I say that Halo could do no wrong?
Whenever we start bashing Halo on this channel, you start defending it. Don't lie.
Of course, I start defending it because it's a franchise bigger than ourselves and bigger than our fucking shitty opinions.
Well, yeah.
I got you there. You get no counter argument. So yeah, I rest my case.
Right.
Riskit for the biscuit in the chat says, "Yeah, if you're playing co-op, it's legendary or go home."
But
Well,
like, I
what
just
if I'm
wanna.
already home?
Ah,
Right?
Go to PlayStation.
He says
okay.
that's what he said next. He said, "Or go to PlayStation."
Yes, nice. Go on, Ultimus. But like, it's so
Oh,
great. It's so like I mean, it's so great to see people enjoying Halo again. Like, it's been like it's amazing. I was having this conversation before with just a second, quick, just a second. I'll be back soon enough. Sorry.
oh, okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So
Fabio would be right back.
got some
Life
technical
happens.
difficulties. Hey,
Boba
Boba
Fett
Fett just
Gaming in
showed
the
up.
chat. Hey, brother, how you doing, Boba?
All right, I'm back. So sorry about that. So
Oh
like,
wow, that was
it's
fast.
yeah. I said it was going to be quick.
Okay,
Like,
but
All right.
go
All right.
on.
Back
Winter
to it.
update. Winter update.
yes, going back to what I was saying, like I'm so glad to see people enjoying Halo again. Like we've been waiting a year for this, and like the last time we were saying it's great to see people enjoying Halo back again is when Halo Infinite got released, and then after that it was just yeah, we know how it went.
It was a trick.
Exactly,
It
and
was.
like I'm so glad to see that finally the most important thing that is the ability for us to play co-op and Forge for us to play crazy fun custom games is actually here available. Not exactly the way we want. It's still in beta, but it is here. The only thing that to me is actually missing is the fact that 343 needs to fulfill their promise to release Halo split screen co-op. I know
I
it's
knew he was
I
going to
like
say that.
I
Nobody
I'm
does that anymore, though.
doesn't
Really, they
matter. It's
don't.
a they've been promising that since Halo 5. That's the thing. They've been promising that since Halo 5 got released, Bob. I'm not saying that it's gonna make a huge difference with people for people. No, I'm not saying that. For some will, for some don't. Yeah, but it show us that 343 actually cares. I think it's much better for them to release this and actually fulfill their promise without mattering if it's gonna change people's lives or not, than to simply say, you know what, we are promising this, but we are not going to deliver. Like, this is a game company, not a politician. For fuck's sake.
All right. All right. But okay. Okay. See, there you go. You're defend you just got off your soapbox defending. So again, the
What?
question was, what do you think of the winter update?
No, no, it's amazing. It's amazing. Like,
Have you
simply, I'm
have
really
you
glad
played
to
it?
see. Yes. Yeah, of
And
course. I
what
just said
level
it.
are you? Screenshot right now.
What? Screenshot. Right.
Well, I'm a
No.
beautiful level 6 out about him.
You're better than me. I'm
Okay.
a 3 because I only
Yeah,
played
I think I'm
multiplayer
a
that one
level.
night.
I think I'm a level 5 or 6 actually. I don't remember. I got this. I got both shoulders, the first shoulders actually.
Well, I'm glad. One thing I haven't seen yet that I want to see is I want to see some maps remastered, some
Yes,
classics, and we
snow
haven't
Coming
got
back,
map,
that yet.
the good,
snow maps.
really good maps.
Power Man, have you gotten a chance to play it?
Yeah, I have.
We're gonna have to set up a co-op session. You know that.
I'm down, man. I've still been waiting. A couple of my good buddies haven't played it either, and I've been waiting on them, to play. But as far as like the co-op campaign, I've been playing the multiplayer. The new maps are good. It looks like there's promise there. Looks like people are having a lot of fun with Forge. I mean, I'm not too big into Forge. I like taking advantage of Forge, right? I like benefiting from the maps, but I haven't really never really been too big into creating my own. But
Oh, me neither.
Yeah, like
yeah,
I was about to actually ask you guys that. Like, is anyone here capable of doing good maps? I have no creativity for that.
No, no. It took me 25 episodes to stop using a generic thumbnail. So not me. Definitely not. No. Mm-mm.
Mine would be a grid system. I am not that creative either.
Yeah. Okay. So great.
So,
yeah. So
Boba Fett Gaming in the chat, Boba Fett's saying that he's been having a lot of issues with matchmaking.
I was
really,
going to bring this
Um,
up actually in a second.
I didn't. I wasn't the host. Jedi Knight Peter was the host, and we were all in his fire team, and he's in Australia, and he's got a ping that was like, I think his ping's like 145. Sometimes it was 180, and we didn't have any issues. But that was 2 days ago. Maybe the winter update has caught on now, and the servers are getting a lot more traffic. I think so. I will say, playing co-op multiplayer, we had one issue. You remember at the very beginning? Well, that's not at the very beginning, but where you're jumping down and going through the drop ship area, trying to get back to the Pelican. At the very beginning, you remember that?
Hmm.
yeah.
Well, when you get down to the bottom, where you get to that door, the door's supposed to be open, and you run down the hallway to the Pelican. When me and the
Mm,
wife got to that point, the door was not open, and we tried everything. We could not. We were stuck. I don't know if we got there too fast or what.
fair enough.
And the only thing we could do to fix it was to start our games over and reload that save. That's another thing when you play Halo co-op this time. This time, every player loads off of a save slot. From what it looked like to me, there's four save slots, and so I just picked a save slot that didn't have a save. It was clear. There was a free save spot. That way, everything I picked up, um, because I was afraid that if I already had a skull or I already had this audio log, and if I played off one of my save slots where I'd already picked it up, then it wouldn't show up on screen for me, so I wouldn't be able to point it out to her. So that's why I started off fresh. And yeah, I remember where the first skull was on the first level. I mean, that's the most important one because that's the one you can't go back and get. We got that one.
Yeah, there's like
Hmm.
two, I think, go back, or else the rest are in the open world.
Yeah, there's yeah, the first skull is the only one you can't go back and get. You have to replay that level. Because the after that you land and you're on the outskirts of the you're going through the rebuilding area where you have to fight the covenant before you get to the open world. And there's one there, but I think you can get all the way back to that area. I may be
Okay, maybe
wrong.
that's what I'm thinking because I've collected all of them.
I haven't finished the game because, in case you don't know, Ultimus, the wife is very particular about games that sagas, storylines that we are invested in emotionally. I'm not allowed to play a Gears game without her. I'm not allowed to play a Halo game without her. And when she saw me playing Halo by myself, she said, "You need to stop." I did.
What if the Gears game is Gears Judgment?
She hates that one just as much as everybody else. So I think
I like
she's fine.
I like Gears Judgment. I'm
Really,
sorry. I'm sorry. I
really.
enjoy it. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I enjoy it. I really like it. I don't
Yes,
think it's
risk it for the biscuit. I haven't finished the damn game because Xbox has got so many games to play that I had other options, and would feel better experiencing it with a loved one and having the same oohs and ahs at the same time.
you could
Wait a
always
minute.
lie.
Wait a minute. This is very important. Xbox has games? I didn't know that.
No, he
Yeah, we
doesn't.
got games.
He's just bamboozling you.
Okay, when I get every achievement that I'm out to get for a game, unless it's got multiplayer that I could possibly play with a friend in the future, I delete it. Like 1,000 out of 1,000, the first Plague's Tale, deleted it off my hard drive. There's absolutely no reason for that to be there anymore. I need the space. And I've
Yes.
got 400 games on my hard drives. Yeah, there you go. Crazy backlog. I've even Far Cry 3. I've 1,000 that, got it off. It's gone. But the other Far Cries, there's a couple on there that I just haven't gone back to get yet. Hmm. Yeah.
Same way. Once I max it, I just feel satisfied enough that I never go back.
To me,
All
sometimes
right.
I just like to me sometimes I just when I finish the main story, the main campaign, and there's no multiplayer, nothing to grind, I just fuck it.
So, did everybody see that memo going around? That Activision Blizzard memo from
Phase two.
Bobby? I'm a dickhead. Kotick.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read it.
Yeah, and at the very end, there is a disclaimer paragraph that's almost larger than the memo above it, saying
It's
Hmm.
that none
basically
of
just
yeah, this is
Keywords.
not set in stone. Don't believe anything I say, and but this is gonna go. Yeah,
I
that
think they're still a little uncertain, although they're confident, but this is just gonna roll over for a while, so
Like, imagine how horrible would it be for like we are a big company being acquired by another big company, and we are just totally uncertain for if this merge is going to be happening. Like the boss around needs to give them some confidence. Yeah, it might be some false confidence, but at least it's better than say, guys, I have no fucking clue of what the hell is going on.
Wow, that's pretty. Yeah, no fucking clue. I'm the CEO. Probably talk to Phil on a weekly basis. I got no
Yeah,
idea.
like imagine Phil, what you got then? Phil Spencer says, I have no idea.
And I don't know. Why are you asking me?
Yeah, why are you asking me? Why? What do I have to do with this?
Yeah, Thimber, I did see it. They are confident, but they did have in that memo that long list of this may not happen, or we do not, or if it doesn't, then this, and this. They did have it in the message. Although personally, they're all very confident. Phil Spencer's confident. Everyone's confident. I think it's just gonna. I think everything's just with the regulators is just, I guess, wasting time. It's probably end up going to go through anyway. They're just doing their investigations and everything else. So
Everything that they've said has been on point, and the Activision Blizzard is confident that's going to happen. Satya is confident that's going to happen. I don't think that they're going to have as many problems with the EU as everybody's making it out to be. You guys have to understand that, like, these media accounts, they exist to stir emotion and to stir people to click their article, right? And what nobody's going to say, oh, well, I'm going to keep clicking this article that Xbox is going to win. No, they want to see the potential catastrophe that would be, Microsoft not getting it, and then they have to pay basically restitution, billions of dollars in restitution, and then Activision Blizzard is back, in a state of limbo, which I don't understand why anybody would be advocating for them to be in that state. I mean, Microsoft purchasing them is a good thing for them. It's a good thing for the devs and the workers. And I think that it'll completely change the atmosphere that Activision Blizzard is known for. You know what I'm saying? As far as like, workspace environments or what have you, whatever's going on over there. I'm sure Phil can work on it. You know what I mean? Or at least, cut out the people that are responsible and move forward. But, I don't know. I don't see this. Everything that they're talking about seems to be run of the mill, typical stuff that goes along with this stuff. I do see it stretching out into like late spring of next year before we have like a definitive answer, for sure. But
it's going to go through its investigation phases, which, as Thimber's been saying, it is part of the process. It's probably going to end again. It's going to end up happening. They're going to own Activision, and if there is concessions, then Microsoft then will figure that out. But it's backed by one of the big. Go ahead.
Which they've already addressed. I mean, like other than the fact that like they basically come out and said multiple times that Call of Duty is going to remain on PlayStation, right? But I think that what Sony wants is they want them to say that it's never going to be on Game Pass. Look, you guys are not in a position to tell somebody who owns the game what subscription service they decide, especially if it's their own. Because that's the problem. Sony knows it's not about whether or not Call of Duty stays on PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? Like they know people will buy it. But they also know if it's on Game Pass, right? That not everybody. But what that could do is that could affect future PlayStation purchases. Sony's looking at this in the 5 to 10 year range of time. They're not looking at the right now. They know that. Listen, if you have a PlayStation 5 and you want to play Call of Duty, you're not going to go out and go buy an Xbox just to get it on Game Pass for free, right? That makes no sense. Why would you spend $500 to go get a game for free? You would just buy it on PlayStation. Sony's concerned about the future of the franchise, right? They're thinking about, oh, well, when the mid-gen refreshes come out or the next PlayStation or next Xbox, guess what's going to be like front and center at all of their marketing and all of their showcases and everything? It's going to be the latest and greatest Call of Duty. And if Modern Warfare 2 proves anything, right, it's that Call of Duty is alive and well. It is sold faster and better than any Call of Duty in history. It's blowing records on Steam. It's blowing records on concurrent players, and they still haven't even released the other two modes, which I think are going to be awesome, which is DMZ and the raids, you know? So I can't see a world where, you know, Call of Duty is going to fall off in the next few years and be completely irrelevant, you know, like a lot of
It's
people on
not.
Twitter are saying, you know?
It's not. You know, Call of Duty took a dive there for a minute. Let's all be honest. It's really bounced back with Modern Warfare 2. Modern Warfare 2 is really popular. I find it really fun. I'm glad to have a really fun multiplayer, a very interesting campaign, you know, and all that. But Call of Duty's never off. And when an Xbox does get it, it is going to be one of the faces of not only of Xbox, but of Game Pass. You're right. It may be not affect right now, but in 10 years, people are going to look at, well, if I get an Xbox, then all I got to do is pay for Game Pass, and I'll have Call of Duty this year, the year after that, or the 2 years after that. They'll think about that. People will be like, oh, look at the money I can save if I just buy an Xbox. And there are people out there that just exclusively play Call of Duty. I've got friends like that. So it would affect them. Because some of them have been talking to me about, oh, should I get an Xbox now because the Call of Duty thing.
And that's exactly what Sony's being so bitchy about it.
So bitchy about it.
He says it with such a...
I'm sorry. It's because it's midnight here in Brazil, and so I won't be able to speak as loud as I normally do.
So we started something last week
Did
where, yes, remember last week
Podcast.
when we
started a
brought up,
podcast. Okay.
you know, yeah, in the Discord where members of the Discord can throw in topics in the news.
Yes,
I've just been looking over something that Thember recommended. The Xbox boss gives a new update on the Perfect Dark reboot. Wow. And it's GameSpot, so it's got to be true, right?
Oh, Jesus.
So Crystal Dynamics, one of the latest acquisitions of the Embracer Group, is helping out on Perfect Dark alongside the initiative. And it's Matt Booty described the partnership as co-development and not outsourcing. It's not a case of Crystal Dynamics has taken over or that they're replacing the initiative. We had 100 and some people become available who have this great pedigree of working on Tomb Raider. They're available. They're excited about working on Perfect Dark. It's really a part of how you build a game team these days, as opposed to some sign that we're trying to compensate for something. So
James
yeah,
had some things go on. They've had some rebuilding going on, some restructuring, and no one be worry. It's coming just a part of how game is. Studios all the time. Studio place people work on together, multiple studios.
Am I the only one having issues to listening?
no, Ultimus, you're botting.
Yeah, you're botting, bro.
I was so worried.
Yes,
that it was
Riskit for the biscuit. I am eating right now.
Hold on, guys.
I gotta get it in. I gotta get it in somewhere.
I'm fixed. Hold on.
You good? You good?
Is it good?
Oh well. Okay, so I kind of allude. I think I know what he was trying to say. So the initiative, has had its level of issues. We just lost him, by the way. But here's the thing. I think that a lot of people were just really hanging on this idea that, oh, Crystal Dynamics is coming in. Xbox has all this stuff. They have to save them. Not understanding that the initiative itself, wasn't. I don't think it was big enough or had enough of the, manpower that it needed to make a full-blown AAA game on that level. And I think Crystal Dynamics kind of came in there and Xbox, gave them that the manpower. You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of like saying that, the initiative is kind of like a bunch of foremen on a construction site. And in my opinion, Crystal Dynamics, those are the laborers. Those are the guys that get out there and get it done. The initiative has the ideas and the overall say is my guess. And the devs at Crystal Dynamics are probably like, okay, cool. That sounds great. We're going to put this into action and do what we know how to do. I mean, they've made good games in the past. I think that I would argue that Tomb Raider, especially the original Tomb Raider when it came out on the 360, I know a lot of people think I'm crazy, but that to me, that game at that time would have rivaled God of War. Only in scope and aspect. I love that game so much. I thought that the reboot of Lara Croft was so good and so well done. Um, and that was, I mean, Corey, even Corey worked on that game too, so you can see that how similar.
I I mean, but like you did mention that the initiative didn't have enough people, so they didn't have enough people to release a AAA type of game, so they asked for help for co-developing. Okay, no worries about that. I'm sure that Perfect Dark is going to be really good because the initiative does have a lot of talent there. But don't you guys think that we are having a huge problem in terms of management going on in the Xbox Game Studios? Because I mean, I'm not trying to be harsh on it. I'm not trying to be negative on it. I really want to see those studios succeed. But like, when it comes to how with the things that we've been seeing with how productive those studios have been in the since they got acquired or since they were created, like, don't you think it's bizarre that Microsoft created a studio, but it's a studio that they advertise by saying that they don't make AAA games, they make 4A's, AAA games, and they don't have enough people for that? Don't you think it's kind of bizarre?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I could see the optics of
it
that.
is.
I could tell, you could look at it like, oh, this is, supposed to be their first, which I will say, nobody at Xbox deemed them as a quadruple A studio. That was something that was outside of them. But
Ah,
then,
was
the,
I thought it was with them. Okay, sorry.
but there's a lot of people that had a lot of hype on the initiative, and it did. They really hyped it up at the E3, and hearing that Crystal Dynamics is coming in to help them from the outside looking in feels like it's a cry for help, right? Like, oh, we can't do this, we need your help, right?
Hmm.
Just like Playground getting help on Fable. Now,
And
I
like,
don't
and
when I say help, I would say that very loosely, right? Because like I said, it's like they have the ideas, they just need people, they need hands on computer screens to activate it. And no matter how good your idea is, sometimes you need manpower to get it done, right? And to get it done in a reasonable amount of time. So these guys are probably like, the ideas, the thoughts, the thinkers, the dreamers, and they needed like a team of devs that were bigger than that what they could have in the initiative, and they needed that work. You know what I mean? That's
mhm.
the way I'm looking at it. And like, for instance, when you hear about Matt Booty always wanting to show off Fable, that tells me that Fable must be in a good spot, right? Because
Yes.
his job as Xbox first party, like he's supposed to be hyping this stuff up. I understand that, but I don't think he'd be wanting to show something that was broken. You know what I mean? Like, I really don't.
Exactly.
I really don't think he would want to be showing something that was bad.
Yeah, I agree. It, my hat's off to the coalition because I know, and we all know that they're working on Gear 6 in the background. But
Yes.
to be doing that and then going here to help Cyberpunk or CD Project Red, and now they're going over here to help uh, Undead Labs with State of Decay 3, and
Making
they're
the
all over.
as
They
well
are
as
masters.
as well as
Legends up there.
showing off their capabilities using the Unreal Engine 5 with the Matrix
Exactly.
demo.
They're
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, they're
bar
masters
none.
of Unreal.
I mean, like a huge shout out to the coalition, huge shout out to Obsidian Games actually as well, because holy fucking shit, they don't stop.
I love you, Fabio.
Why? Why?
Oh,
This is
nothing. Just out of the blue, he's like, "Man, holy fucking shit, man."
like because let's start thinking with Obsidian. Like they released Grounded, they're working on a vault, they're Of course, they're going to be working on a new Path of Exile as well. Maybe they are going to be working on a Fallout New Vegas, but we have no idea about that, right? And they are actually managing to be releasing a new game this year. So like,
All those, yeah,
in
there's no
Outer
doubt
Worlds,
about
in
it. Path of
Outer Worlds,
Exile
in
2 is
Outer
a
Worlds,
thing. That's a real thing.
and like Outer Worlds 2 as well, they're working on. So like, I think it's so like they are like Insomniac for Sony. They're they're just
Mhm.
working non-stop. God damn it.
Gosh darn it.
Why haven't they
Bum,
Series
bum.
X updated Outer Worlds? You know, like
Yes,
why hasn't that
great
happened?
question.
I
Great
don't know.
question. Maybe we'll see when Outer Worlds 2 gets released. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't think I really don't think that's like in the upcoming slot. I feel like that's
We'll
in
No, that's a
the
discuss
ways
it.
away.
yeah, that's the ways away.
Definitely a ways
Hmm,
away.
We'll
It's gonna be
discuss it.
great though. I love the first on Outer Worlds.
Yes, it's such a great, and like, and it came and got released in a time where Fallout was dying so badly because of Fallout 76. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we might actually be on a new Xbox by then, guys. Me personally, I think that like there's something
Seriously?
like yeah. I mean, look, listen,
With
we are already behind. We are already behind in technology. It's clear with the GDK and with the things that are like implementing and not being implemented on these consoles that there's something there, right? That because they're not being added, they're not being utilized like they should. Cyberpunk is just now getting FSR. Not every game's getting FSR. I see, like when I look at something, I'm thinking like, okay, we have a Series X RDNA 2, right? All the features, 12 teraflops, fidelity, super resolution is exactly what this console would need to stay competitive for the remaining, portion of the generation. Why? Because if you want to render something on a 4K TV, then you need AI super sampling to be able to make that and to not ghost, to not have artifacts, to not and to have a good picture, but also not explode your Series X trying to keep up. You know what I mean?
run at a good frame
Yeah.
rate.
You know what I
And run
mean?
at
Like the latest and greatest AMD GPUs are running, with, and of course, I know the T flops are a point of contention, but the 7900 XTX has 61 teraflops, versus 12 of RDNA 2. This is 61 of RDNA 3. So at some point, I think Xbox and AMD are probably already in the midst of, and it's probably already been talked about and being developed, but there is a mid-gen refresh. I see it coming in the next 2 years. So I'll make that call right now.
Oh yeah. Oh no, no. But you can be sure that a mid-gen console is going to be released. Like with the way the Xbox One X got released and it made such a big success, like of course they're going to try to do this again and say that it is once again the most powerful console ever.
Yeah, and see, here's Boba. I see your devil's advocate, and I will raise you one. I do think that the Matrix demo is highly impressive. However, I do think that it is a little bit of like a sterile a vacuum, if you will. I do feel like that demo is similar to the Unreal Engine 5 demo that they showcased and tried to make this big, wallapalooza that the PlayStation 5 SSD was the only reason that this thing could run and blah blah blah. I think that we're heading into a realm where I'm not saying that we've reached the potential of these consoles, but I think that technology is moving forward very very quickly. I do think, and I do, and because I mean, think about it. This time next year, by the time we do get a mid-gen refresh, imagine what the next 5090 or 8900 XTX is going to be, pumping out year over year. I mean, the GPU um, market has just exploded in power. You know what I mean? So I
Riskit
just
for
think
the
that it's
biscuit.
sort of, yeah. Go ahead.
Riskit for the biscuit in the chat brings up a good idea, a
Okay.
good topic. He said, "Don't get me started on FSR." Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Matrix demo did use FSR. We saw that. We saw that in the works because I vividly remember in that demo being far away from somebody and getting closer to them, actually seeing the resolution increase on their face the closer I got. And this is a demo. If it was working then, why can't we get it in every game now?
Right.
One problem that's going on is the GDK. One thing that he was bringing up. For some reason, and Colt Eastwood and a lot of the other guys out there have covered this, it's just not easy to implement, or the tools available, it's still difficult to. They haven't made it very easy. And this isn't just on Xbox. This has also been reported on PlayStation. The devs are just having a hard time implementing it. Not that they can't, but it's just not that easy, so a lot of games aren't having it. But
well, Colt said that Xbox is not making it easy to allow developers to have access to the tools that they need to implement these systems into the Xbox, ecosystem architecture, whatever it may be. And so if that is the case, then that's on Xbox, because if they're not giving these developers the tools and the access they need to implement these things that it's going to need, i.e. FSR, the Xbox is going to need, especially the Series S, is going to need the FSR moving forward. And if FSR was implemented into things such as Gotham Knights and A Plague Tale Requiem, then we would have 60 FPS options, because you would be able to AI super sample at least a 1080p is 1/4 of the pixel count of 4K. So you would be able to render that at 1080p or 1440 AI super sample to 4K and get almost as good of a picture, and sometimes better in some cases than the original. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna put the brakes on this right now. Riskit just got in the chat and just basically said that they do have the tools, and I'm not saying they don't, but it's not easy to implement, is what I was trying to say.
Yeah,
in some cases,
they may have them, but they're just not. But if that's the case, and that's the question I want to ask. If this is the case, why isn't Xbox doing it on every single game? Why isn't every single game that's come out in 2022 and above, even 2021, right? Because Forza Horizon 5 is getting ray tracing on PC and not on console. Minecraft got ray tracing on PC and not on console. This was targeted as an 8K ray tracing RDNA 2 machine. Why are they not implementing this, right? And at this point, I don't think it even matters between the devs and Xbox. Why isn't these things are not being used, and they could change the landscape of the games that we're being access to, like Gotham Knights and Plague Tale Requiem. Like, we wouldn't be stuck in 30 FPS.
Riskit is just rage typing right now.
Yeah, because
that doesn't.
He's had 2 strokes since I started talking.
Yeah. Like I was about to say that he just had a stroke. So like he was
Risky,
about.
You know I'm right, bro. You know I'm right. I'm sorry. We got to be real, man. That they're not utilizing. They're not being utilized.
Well, I just sent.
Otherwise, we would have them, right? Wouldn't we have them? We would have them, right? Why would we not have
an invite to the show if he's available? I sent him the invite.
Oh my God! Don't do this.
Okay,
Oh, man.
all right. I've done. Me and Riskit have done some things together. I can't wait to begin this chaos.
Well, I don't know if he's going to be able to join. I don't know what he's got the kid or whatnot now. So that's totally understandable.
While we're waiting, Bob, what are your thoughts, man? I want to hear what you got to say.
Okay, my honest opinion, RDNA 2 did not stick around long enough for them to put the work in.
Right.
AMD has already moved on to RDNA 3, and
FSR
it's kind of like,
which is on the way.
and FSR 3. I don't think we saw enough focus on RDNA 2 and its capabilities. We literally only saw, NVIDIA doesn't even change their architecture. How long was NVIDIA on Turing?
Yeah. And then they finally got Ampere. But like, I don't even with the architecture, like RDNA 3 is a thing. But
he's here.
Oh, here we go.
All right.
Everybody, shut the
floor
fuck
is yours,
up.
sir. I'm willing to listen.
Yeah. What a guys, fuck. Look, right. Okay, so
I'm quiet. I'm just quiet.
It is easy to implement. That's a load of shit, right? So FSR 1.0 has been implemented across a ridiculous amount of games. There's a lot of games that use FSR 1.0. They're on record as saying, and I have spoken to a couple of devs in the background, that if you are implementing FSR 1.0, it is not that difficult to switch it over to 2.1. You're looking at about maybe a week to 2 weeks. It's really quick to do it. It's not a big drama. There is a caveat. I had to say caveat, right? The reason that they're not no one knows the reason that they're not using it. But what's really interesting is that Scorn came out with FSR 2.0. That is the only game that has not had any kind of marketing contract or contractual agreement with PlayStation at all. That's the only game that has implemented FSR 2.0. PlayStation cannot currently implement FSR 2.0. So that's something to note. They do have a parity clause. We don't know if that covers that kind of tech. What we do know is that none of Xbox's first-party games like Deathloop have implemented FSR 2.0 or 2.1 on the console. They have done it on the PC. It's not that they have a problem doing it. It's got nothing to do with how hard it is to do, whether it's available in the GDK. It is available in the GDK. There's something else going on. What could be going on is the parity clause. And the other thing that's a serious possibility is that it does come with the computational costs. So running like resolution at 4K, right? If you've got a full 4K resolution, that has a computational cost, right? But the thing is, does FSR have a higher computational cost or one that's equal to the computational cost of 4K res, right? And if it doesn't, and it's much lower, then it's worth implementing. If it's not, and it's much higher, or it's around the same, then it's not worth implementing. So Scorn came out with FSR 2.0 on the Xbox Series X, but it didn't come out with it on the Series S. Series S runs at a native resolution of 1080p. The Series X runs at a native resolution of 1440p, upscaled to 4K. All right. So there's a lot of stuff in the background as to why they maybe aren't doing it. But what's really interesting is Scorn is the only title we've seen with it on console, and that has no affiliation with PlayStation as of yet. Now, that's really interesting. Now, if the next first-party title comes out and has no affiliation with PlayStation, so not Ghostwire Tokyo, and they are using FSR 2.0, that to me almost, it's not 100%, but that to me almost confirms that that's Sony putting a parity clause on FSR 2.0 because it's not quite, it's capable of doing it. PlayStation can do it.
But Riskit, do you think that Sony would have had the foresight to predict something like a super sampling resolution boost on, something that was coming out pre RDNA 2? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because that's an RDNA.
They're already talking about. You've got TTA. Unreal 4 has been using super sampling for ages.
Right.
NVIDIA has its own super sampling. Like that, AMD was always going to do their own type of super sampling, and they also knew that Xbox was going to be using the stronger features with the RDNA 2, and that PlayStation wasn't going to quite have all of those features. So, I mean, to them, whether it was super sampling or TAA or whatever the hell that they were worried about, it's a smart move to put that kind of a clause on a third-party game. Now, just one more thing. To Gotham Knights, FSR would not help that game at all. It's extremely CPU heavy. It's got nothing to do with the GPU. It smokes that CPU. Doesn't use the entire CPU, but it just bottlenecks the shit out of it and feeds too much into what it's using. It's poorly optimized. It's got nothing to do with the GPU. The GPU is basically running like a breeze. I think it was using max at 1.50% of its GPU.
The Series X CPU smokes the recommended CPU on PC. Like, it's not even close. And the thing is that it's utilizing the number one CPU at almost 100%, and then CPUs like 2 through 12 are at like less than 20%. You know what I mean? So at highest 20%.
Yeah. So who would have ever say with first words? Fuck that. Yeah. Sorry. Look, FSR is something that's been really. Oh my God, who's that calling me? Hang on a second. I'm probably going to have to dip back out. But FSR has been something that's really been bothering me the entire generation because I know it's not hard to implement. There's a couple of devs that I speak to that are like really good with information on back end stuff like this, and they don't know why it's not being used, and they like it should be being used if it has a benefit, to frame rate or it has a benefit to resolution. It makes no sense not to use it because it's not a hard thing to do. Like I've been told that directly from a dev. So
right, but it's a fair assumption that like if we're sitting out with zero information, looking at it from the outside, looking in, it's a fair assumption to be okay. Well, if that is the case, then like you said, and if it's something to do with Sony, right? Like how long is that going to go on in this generation? Like how long does this parity clause of them trying to
It'll
keep
go
a game
on until PlayStation can have FSR 2.0. So
yeah, but
imagine refresh.
But at
imagine
what point,
if that got out at 100%, that got out. Like, can you imagine the narrative switch there? Because up until now, we've been hearing that the potato has been holding back gaming this generation, not the PlayStation 5. But if I'm right, look, I'm not saying it's 100%. And Gaz, if he hears me say it's 100%, I'll have him so far up my ass. I'll be speaking like I'm from the UK, right? But if that is right, like imagine the narrative shift, man, and like imagine how much shit that would cause. So PlayStation will do absolutely everything they can to keep that under wraps if that's the case. And yeah, Bob, exactly what you said, man. Like if and when PlayStation can do FSR 2.1, it's 2.1 now, or 3, like when it comes. Then yeah, I'm sure that parity clause will be. But that's the thing. Here's the other thing when you talk about the tools. Like what you got to understand is most of the games we get are third party, right? And so that's why you get quality games on the PlayStation, right? It's because they're developing for their ecosystem. Okay, we haven't really seen. That's why Coalition is so good. They're developing for their own ecosystem. They're not developing for other sets of ecosystems. So it's a very different. API and a very different GDK in the PlayStation 5 as it is to PCs and the Xbox. So that's extra work. So when they're developing for dual systems as well as PC, they probably won't go and use tools that are available in one and not available in the other. So that's something else as well, because that's extra development time. And it also like hey, one game runs like 60 upscale 4K and the other game runs at 30 1080p. Like that wouldn't look good either. So there's a lot to it.
So I want to understand what you're telling me. So it sounds to me like you've spoken to some devs and they don't know why FSR is not being used. Correct?
They don't know. No.
So that means that this is at some type of higher executive level. That if this decision was being made not to implement this, it's above the developers' heads. Correct? Like, is that what we're saying? That this is some kind of decision behind closed doors?
Yeah, developers don't generally make those decisions on that sort of stuff. Like, I don't, like you think that they would, but if it's like they go to them and they say we're going to need an extra 2 weeks to develop to put FS. Look, to me, it doesn't make sense to me either, and the devs don't know either. So I don't know if it's management. I really don't know, but it is like a mystery of the gaming industry, and I want it solved so badly, and that's why I started losing my shit, like typing.
Yeah, it really.
I miss the days.
I'm right there with you, dude, because I don't understand it, and it would make so much sense to just have that should just be like a standard tool. You know what I mean? That should just be available to developers to create games from this point on. That's the whole point of it existing.
Well, it's there. That's the thing. It's there. It's like having a spanner, but instead of using a fucking screwdriver, and instead of taking you a day, it takes you 3. Like, but like the thing is that the really bugged me. I was like, and this is where I started getting a little bit manic about this subject. Is I was like, yes, I wasn't interested in Deathloop, but what I was interested in is to see what FSR 2.0 could do, because they had 2.0 on the PC, and I was like, wicked. Let's see how it runs on the Xbox. Came out, no 2.0. It has one. It runs FSR 1.0, but doesn't run 2.0 or 2.1. That's when I started going, there's something going on here. This is really interesting. And no one, look, a lot of people don't like saying shit out in the public eye, because then you'll get what I get, which is people going, oh, you're wrong about stuff. It's like, fucking I'm wrong about stuff sometimes, but I have an opinion about it, and I use my brain and I think about it. My reasoning is sound. but I'm not saying that is definitely what it is. But everything just seems to really point to that parody. Like after Scorn came out, I was like, man, come on. Like Xbox's own first party game doesn't have 2.0, and a AA developer that's like, it's not tippy top of the development. Like Arcane's obviously miles above the developers of Scorn, and they're using 2.0. Come on, man. There's something really fishy going on here. And yeah, I want to know what's going on. I'd like in 20 years when they do another 20-year Xbox thing and it all comes out what was going on, I'd be really interested to see what happened behind the scenes.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. And honestly, I think we might, if next year, if we're not seeing first party Xbox games implementing FSR at least 2.2 or 2.1, then that's really going to raise some eyebrows, in my opinion, because you're leaving performance on the table at that point. Like you could have a better experience and a better fidelity and a better picture and better graphics if you had FSR as a tool to be able to use. And if they're being forced to not use that because another console is just not up to par, that to me sounds absolutely ridiculous. And the fact that anybody would even sign a parity clause of something of that nature is honestly, I don't know. That just seems very disingenuous if that is the case and that's what's going on.
Money talks, brother. Money talks.
And don't forget, the PlayStation is the market leader. And so if they hand you a contract and they allow you on their ecosystem, you're probably going to sign it. Most of your install base is going to be there.
Yeah.
You're 100% going to sign it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
money choice. Over everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
So could see it in the future. That could be blocked. It makes sense. Sad to see. But we'll see how everything goes as the time goes on.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, Bob, I got to step out. I had something really not good go on with the family, so I'll jump back.
Yeah. Go ahead, man.
Go ahead, man. Thank you for jumping in.
Yeah,
that just made me like, I've got to say stuff.
Yeah. I got you, man.
I'll speak to you guys later. Awesome show. I'll still be
listening,
brother.
Yeah.
Thanks, Risk.
So, with Riskit's departure, final topic. Battlefield 2042 in Game Pass. Now, is this because
it's shit?
Getting its ass whooped by Modern Warfare 2 and Halo Infinite, or
he got his ass whooped by Vanguard?
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Like, no, he got his ass whooped by DICE themselves because they fucked it up in a level that I never seen. Okay.
And it had so much potential. It had so much potential.
It's a DICE policy to release a game horribly and then immediately bounce back on it.
Yeah.
A lot of their games have done that. Battlefield 5, for example, started horribly, kind of bounced back in the end. Battlefront 2, that's Star Wars, a little different, but same idea. Started horribly and bounced back.
Well, Battlefield 4 is looked at as the quote-unquote best Battlefield, right? Yes. And that game came out a broken 100%. Mess.
Yeah, but like
that did come out a broken mess.
But it came out a broken mess in terms of the servers, not in terms of actually so many glitches in a level that it's just unplayable. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Every single game that they release, I think Battlefield 3 in a situation like that before.
I don't know. I can't think that far back, but
I just remember that Battlefield 4 had server issues and you couldn't play because of that. Not a situation where the servers were working fine, but the game itself wasn't working at all.
A lot of different things.
Riskit is disagreeing. No, it's Battlefield 42 in Game Pass, or is it in the EA app?
I think
Clobrill said that with the start of season 3, it was supposed to be dropped into Game Pass. That's what Clobrill's tweet said.
Yeah, but Game Pass is joined with EA. That's what he's asking.
Yeah. So you're saying what, the EA app on PC?
Don't get me wrong.
EA app on PC. If it should be released through EA, it'd probably be on the EA app, and it would be technically filed under EA Play on Xbox. So they'll just be on Game Pass for Ultimate members.
Okay,
So-
very curious.
It says
great job.
Battlefield 22 is coming to Xbox Game Pass for the start of Season 3.
I just wanna
That's
put-
all
I
it
just
says on
wanna-
November
the EA website.
22nd.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
great job, Riskit. You just killed the last topic. So we're going to do the outros, and that's it.
Oh, okay.
No, just
It
kidding.
says, listen, this is
straight
on
out
Battlefield. This is on the EA website. We're proud of the work that we've done over the past 12 months. And so if you haven't jumped in yet, starting in Season 3, we'll be introducing Battlefield 2042 into Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and making the game available for subscribers with EA Access.
So,
So it's in Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, and then the game will be available for subscribers with EA Access. So if you have EA Access like outside of Game Pass, you have access to it, and it will also be in Game Pass Ultimate.
I just love
Yeah,
the fact that at the same time that it answers our question, it doesn't answer anything. It's just amazing.
Yeah, it sounds to me like I don't know, because like whenever you're like searching games on Xbox, like you have like the tab of like own games, and you have Game Pass, and then you have EA Play. It's just another tab. It's still accessible. It's just like any other game would be accessible. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So-
but with Ultimate, you just go to the main Game Pass. It just shows everything. Really doesn't
Right.
matter. On PC,
Boba
it is a little
Fett
different.
Gaming, are you not
You
working
have to go
tonight?
to a lot of things work through the EA app. So
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Boba Fett Gaming has been with us an awful long time tonight. I think he's not working tonight
Yeah.
or today.
Boba, we gotta play some Modern Warfare, bro. As soon as I get out of here.
Halo.
wait,
We gotta play Halo Infinite.
What?
What are you talking about?
I gotta grind.
Power
I
Man
think
doesn't
he's.
care about
Oh,
Halo.
he is at work. Okay, he's watching at
Power
work.
Man doesn't care about Halo anymore.
Oh, I do, man. I just, I'm not in the boat that Bob is. Like I've already witnessed and enjoyed my campaign. I will go back and do a co-op, but I'm waiting on a friend on my brother. So,
I'm been addicted to that multiplayer, man. That's what I've been doing.
it's good for sure. I like some of the tweaks that they made to some of the guns, and there's that one new map that's like it has the two jump portals on the side. That's really good for tactical slayer, but I don't know, man. This Modern Warfare has got its hooks in me hard.
God damn it.
I can say that with the winter update, the machine gun has got a great feel and a harder impact.
Yeah, the commando. Yeah, it does. It does. It
Yes,
it
the
hits
commando.
hard. It hits
The
really hard.
commander is bad. The
'Cause
commander
I remember
buffed. The BR got nerfed. Yep.
Good.
I remember when Infinite first launched, and I picked up the commander. I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna lay some fools down with this. And then I was like, peer, and I'm like, what? This is crazy.
I think I was most disappointed with the shoddy, not the little one, not the handheld one, but the other one. It wasn't like that
yeah.
Halo 3 shoddy, man. Like Halo 3
Yeah.
shoddy was disgusting. Like
Yeah, no, like the Halo 3 shoddy was like it was the counter to the sword. Halo Infinite has no counter to the sword.
yeah, it doesn't. Not at all.
That's the problem.
But I did want to throw another Bob, if you don't mind. So today is kind of a special day today, guys.
Is it your birthday?
It's the Marine Corps birthday, so happy birthday, Marines. But this is the birthday of the series consoles. It has
No
now
one
been
cares.
I
it's
forgot
now
about
been
that.
2 years. It's now been 2 years that these consoles have been out into the ether. So I guess my question to the panel, before everybody tries to get out of here, is how are we feeling? Like, where are we at with what's been going on so far? What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I was feeling pretty good until Riskit came on here and made me feel all bummer about
Yeah.
FSR because
Now PlayStation's, throwing money and cocaine on the table and making everybody not use FSR, bastards.
Yes.
and it's not even like correct either because they're saying say hello to my little friend when the console is a monster. It's not a little friend; it's a big friend.
The Series X has tremendous power. They just really need to take advantage of it, and we're not close to that yet.
Yeah, I hope
No,
so. I hope that's the case. Because I do genuinely feel, guys, and I know that it does not sound good with the pandemic, but you have to understand that these things were not predicted. and I do think that I feel like they're in a position where they could pivot into a. Sony is already working on it. Sony is probably closer than Xbox is probably to a mid-gen refresh, but I do see a Series X Elite console in our near future.
It's going to be the Series XX.
Nah,
Yeah,
it'll
we
be
got
the,
the Series
it'll be the,
X,
it'll be a
and
Series X Elite, man. I'm telling you, it's Series X Elite. That's the only one that makes sense to me.
something like
Any
that.
other name it would suck.
Any other name?
If they start adding any more X's, S's, and semicolons and ampersands, then they're going to stop. Okay, they need to quit.
I just want to know, like, what happens when we get the Xbox Series XXX? What happens? What is it going to?
Then Vin Diesel jumps out of a car and
Exactly.
shoots the Series X like a grenade launcher.
Great movie.
No.
Or-
The feature
or
of the
the-
Series XXX is that it's a console that turns into a car. It's just that big.
No. It's a console where when we get the release of the Series XXX, the Game Pass subscription will give you access to the Pornhub account.
Boba said Series
that was
Ultimate X
PlayStation's
sucks.
department.
The Xbox sucks.
Nah, though. Back to the main topic.
Boba, I just
See-
me.
no,
Chad,
Russ.
Russ. Killing me.
The Series X Ultimate Digital Edition.
No, I
Wait,
just
no.
love
This-
I just love
ahead.
so much the Series X sucks.
No.
So Power Man Boba said he'll be on in an hour.
Okay, great. Let's do it.
And
Okay,
between
back to the main
Thember
topic.
saying pew 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 and
Thember,
Boba
where are you at, bro?
telling
Let's
me
get-
not
let's
to
get on
say
this
the
Modern
F
Warfare,
word
bro.
again.
Go
And
on,
Riskit
go on.
saying he's a party pooper. And then Palpatine saying that Riskit needs a nappy.
Yeah,
but
Rich
like,
Chat is seriously killing me right now.
I tell you what,
don't know how hard
this
it
is
was to
actually
not
good
start
information,
laughing.
Bob, because if we ever need a guest on our show, I'm just going to start spamming a lot of FSR speculation, and Risk It will have no choice but to be on our show again.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to see a lot more of Riskit because we're going to be tempting him with FSR information. We're going to be saying false information.
I
on
am right.
purpose
I
now.
am right there with him, dude. FSR has been a point of contention for me with these consoles since I've started hearing about the actual technology. I cannot stand like games not utilizing tools that they have access to. Man, I'm telling you.
Thember, I use summon Risk. So you go into the bathroom, you lock all the doors, put all the water on hot, you let the steam go, you look in the mirror and you say FSR, 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 and there Risk It is. And that's how you get him. That's how you summon him. You know, he'll pop up right there.
On that note, we've been going for an hour and a half, and it is a light news week, and I'm pretty impressed that we got an hour and 32 minutes. Hour and 33 minutes now. So we're going to go through some outros, and then we're going to get out of here, play some games, live some life. Start right at the top. Mr. Fabio, what have you been playing, and where can people find you at, sir?
Well, I've been always great to be here. I've been playing Halo Infinite, of course. I've been also playing Watch Dogs Legions. I'm enjoying that game, as well as I've been playing a bit of Madden 23 because yeah, the season is here. My Vikings are 7-1, and yeah, just happy days, happy days.
Minnesota.
And you
Minnesota.
notice I was feeling a little lacking in the outro, so I took a lot of the
Oh
information
yeah,
off
oh
the
yeah,
screen.
and by
you
the way,
sneaky.
you can find me. And by the way, when it comes to where you can find me, first of all, you can find me on Xbox as Bullfun Lizard 8, and on Twitter is on the screen.
Yep.
It is on
That
the
is
screen.
true.
I mean, it is
It is
actually on the screen.
yeah.
I left
but
it there. I left it there.
I just want to point out that if you are able to read,
Kind of makes
so
me
yeah,
sad. I see Mr. Bushido down there, and he's not with us.
yes.
Shout out
Yes.
to-
Mr.
shout out to
Bushido.
he'll be back.
Mr. Bushido had a bad day today, and he took his heart medicine,
Mm.
and he didn't know whether or not he was going to be able to make it.
You
He said
can
it would
be
be a
sure.
last minute if he could, and he didn't. So
Don't I
Our
tr-
thoughts
I
to
That
Mr.
sucks, man.
Bush.
Yeah,
I
that does
trust
suck.
in Bushido. I
Shout
trust
out
in
to you, bro.
Bushido. I trust in God, and I'm sure that we'll be able to see him back.
Yeah.
I did have a guest lined up tonight, and that fell through. I was gonna have Infinite Umbra come on, and he was gonna join early, and we were gonna change his name and his symbol to Mr. Bushido. We're gonna use
Ah,
his gamer. He was gonna use
Oh
his
my
pick
god.
and put Mr. Bushido in 7 on there for his name, and we were just going to let it roll, and we were going to see if anybody caught it, and if Mr. Bushido ever came into the chat, that's when me and Umbra were going to unleash our plans, and Umbra was going to start pronouncing himself as the number 1 pony, and
Yeah,
Oh,
see,
that-
that's it's kind of dangerous. Don't let Elon Musk know that you were planning on changing profile pictures.
Yeah,
You
you
might,
can't let them know that
Shit.
you're
you got to
immersed.
be real careful around here, buddy.
Okay, so before we move on to our next outro, so I have a little bit to say about that. So the way before Elon Musk, because there's a lot of people saying that Twitter is going to go under or Twitter is going to go away. As long as there's a toxic fanboy out there that wants to start an argument, Twitter's going to be alive.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the reason
Yeah, it's. Go ahead.
so before Elon Musk came along, the being verified with the check mark on Twitter was very, very, very crooked business. There were people getting denied, and then they were getting denied, and then that person's information was being handed off to a third entity, who would then say, "I can get you verified for $12,000."
Yeah.
This went on. Elon Musk actually has investigations going on to get to the bottom of this. And yes, it'll cost you $8 a month right now if you want to be verified. But if you are up there in popularity to where people are mimicking your profile and trying to pass themselves off as you, then because you do have to prove your identity. It's not just you pay $8 and you get a check mark. No, you pay $8, but you have to prove your identity to get that. When before it was behind closed doors and people were having to pay thousands of dollars, and now you pay $8. I'm not saying it's right, but it is a better alternative. And who knows, when this investigation's all over and they get to the bottom of this, then verification may come with Twitter Blue. And I've been a Twitter Blue subscriber for several months now, and I love it because I'm always, I got big old fat fingers. I'm always messing up on a tweet, and then I send it, and then I have to end up deleting it and then resending it. Now I have 30 minutes after I send a tweet to edit it. I love that.
when it comes to Twitter, I just want to point out the fact that it's amazing how long has Elon Musk took over Twitter, and how hard has it come down? Because I'm starting to think, okay, if anyone in chat is able to create the brand new social websites as Twitter just to kill this platform that we have right now, you will be rich. Because the way that
Yeah, I
Twitter
mean, there's already like a
is,
ton of alternatives. It's just that nobody wants to use them,
They're
and
not good.
everybody's they're not good. Like,
And here's a
someone
point. Go ahead.
go on, Ultimus.
Here's a point that I thought about, and I just realized why Twitter won't die. You see the people complaining? What platform? They're complaining on Twitter. All of them are saying the stuff on Twitter. They're fueling feeds. That's why Elon's posting saying, "Oh, we're hitting the highest, impressions and all that," because people are talking. All it is shaking it up. But I'm gonna be honest. Where are we gonna go? No one's going to Facebook. LinkedIn's not a place to go. Discord's not, is Discord's very different from that. There's nowhere to go that has the same level of engagement and meeting new people and all that. It's going to be shaken up, and eventually it's just going to balance out. But right now, I don't think. I mean, you could ask KY. I've been back and forth on this 6 different times. I was worried too for a minute there. But really, I think it's just going to be one of those things where it's going to be a big thing. Everyone's talking about it, making fun of each other. Then it's going to dissipate, and then everyone's going to go back to normal.
Yeah,
I think that's about it. But I'll give KY. I'll give a lot of credit for that. The blue checkmark system was very corrupt. It was very corrupt. It was very much, it was the peasants and lords system. And I think that's why we're seeing a lot of people kind of get mad that, oh, somebody else can have a check mark or that. We're seeing a lot of these big people say that. In the end, platform is still the same. You can go on, tweet, and do whatever. Just because someone with 2 followers has a check mark really doesn't change anything. If they're not entertaining, no one's going to go look at their channel. To me, I don't think it really makes a difference. That's my thought.
Yeah, if they're not entertaining, then nobody's going to want to copy them anyway, and they just waste the money on a check mark. Ha ha. I mean,
the thing is, like the impersonation rules have always been a part of Twitter. They just weren't enforced before this. I mean, they weren't to the forefront because people were. Think about how many times people like Colt and Dealer and everybody else just in our community and the PlayStation community have been accounts have popped up with like their profile picture and their actual literal parodies of them, making fun and like actually making tweets out there that were saying like terrible things and stuff that for a fact the real person would have never said, and nothing was ever done before Elon Musk.
No.
The only reason why that all of a sudden it's to the forefront of this now is because people have just started doing this whole like impersonating Elon thing, and that rule has existed forever. And he just said, hey, if you keep doing it, you're just going to waste your $8 because we're going to ban you permanently, and you just keep doing it, we'll keep banning you. You know what I mean? Like,
I think it's going to stop eventually because it's funny for a minute, but if you do it so many times, these guys can be spending more money than it adds up. And I think that's why Elon Musk is kind of rubbing it off. He's just kind of like, well, hey, they're paying just to get banned.
Yeah,
I mean,
like if you want to waste money, that's fine. That's what he's trying to say.
And in some cases, it's been funny. When I saw the Mario tweet, I was laughing. I was hard. That was funny. But then it gets banned and it gets buried, and we all forget about it. It's just going to be shaken up right now. It's going to settle down. Everything's going to go back to the way it was, and we're all going to move forward. I mean, some people have just ignored it and just act like whatever, it's just going to pass, and that's what I think.
I just want to interrupt you guys just to say that I'm amazed with how we are able to lose the track even during the outro.
Dude, I gave up. I honestly gave up. I mean, when
amazing.
I clearly said I want to say this, and then we'll go on to the next outro. And then as soon as I got done talking, my brothers Power Man and Ultimus, they picked it up. God bless them, and they just ran with it. And I just sat back here with my vape and my soda, and I just chilled. I was like, yeah, okay. I can go a few more minutes if I don't have to talk. I mean,
he's just entertained. He's just off in his little corner being and relaxing.
But I'm watching the gameplay. Actually, you ever seen the?
I've been watching it too.
The YouTube, what is it? Where they put words in the mouth? Somebody help me out.
Guys, come on! It's almost 1 a.m. here in Brazil. Let's wrap it up.
Okay, yeah. All right. On to the next outro. I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry about that.
What about hoe? All right.
I think I'm gonna bring
Power
up
Man
really
4K. Power Man 4K.
Actually,
what have you been playing? And where can people find you?
I've been playing Modern Warfare 2. You can find me here on Thursdays at 9 p.m. And you can find me on Twitter at PowerMan4K. And if you haven't already, please add me on Xbox, and I'm down to play whatever.
Yes, and he will beat you. He's better than everybody on this panel. Don't let him fool you.
I don't know about that.
Probably.
Everybody's better than I am. But I have fun, so that's all that matters. Ultimus Gaming, sir. Where can people find you at, and what have you been playing?
Right now, you can find me on Twitter, Ultimus Gaming. Same place I've always been. On Xbox, I am Ultimus I. Go ahead and friend me, message me. I am on as much as I used to, but if you see me on, I want to play some Modern Warfare 2, Halo, whatever, just hit me up and we'll get it going. I always love getting in parties and meeting new people. Always love doing that. Right now, I'm playing a lot of course, and then a Plague Tale Requiem. I was so close to finishing the game, and somehow, some way, my save got deleted, and I'm having to restart again. And the game has been good, but I still haven't seen the ending, and it's driving me crazy. So I'm
Jesus.
trying to get back and playing all the way through the game again. So that's what's been going on.
All right. And this is KY. And yes, Palpatine, you are right. It is bad lip reading. I was sitting back here watching because, of course, I don't run sound on my gameplay. I was back here putting words into the characters' mouths on screen, and it was pretty funny because it was pretty vulgar, the words I was putting in. And you can find me every Thursday right here hosting Game Set Live with this great panel I have. You can find me on Xbox, KY Bob, Steam, KY Bob, PlayStation, KY Bob. Apparently, nobody wanted to be named after a lube, so I got that name everywhere. All right, everybody.
KYB0B.
Yes. On Xbox, I am KYB0B because if I put Bob with an O, I was KY Bob number like 3,296. And I didn't like that. I wanted to be the only one. So, anyway, it was great to see everybody. It was great to be seen. Thanks for telling a friend. We will see you here next week. Everybody have a great weekend and game on.